So this is the renowned Mr. Kazuha. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kazuha is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidaharu's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to get the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sangha would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions of mora?
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for your privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaidehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about everything that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person you targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured and lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit as selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaidehara. Surely the same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can. Actually, there was one strange thing in the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right then. Recently, two people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma. Now there's a familiar name.
Right.
Right.
Yuya is the nephew of
Aminoma
Toga,
Toga,
the owner of
Aminoma
Smith.
Smith.
Two
Two
grown
grown
men
men
going
going
missing
missing
at
at
the
the
same
same
time.
time.
Ela vai vir conversar um pouco com a gente, dividir um pouco com a gente o que foi essa
Cases
experiência
sound
louca
like
aí da vida dela, né,
I
gente?
don't know
I
much
don't know
about
much
it.
about it.
Sofrer aí
recall this
muito
because
preconceito
Aminoma
e umas coisas que pra mim não devia nem ter espaço
with
dentro do
martial
jogo.
arts, who is skilled with the blade.
Perhaps
he is the one you are looking for.
Understood.
Understood.
Though it
Though it
seems
seems
highly
highly
unlikely to
unlikely
me.
to me.
I neither
I
know
neither
this
know
man,
this
nor do I
man,
have
nor do I have
any
any
idea
idea
why
why
he
he
may
may
wish
wish
to
to
attack
attack me.
Sure. Can't hurt. We never knew what we might find out along the way.
me. Thank you,
Thank you,
Ryuichi.
Ryuichi.
We'll start by
We'll
making
start by
some
making some
inquiries at the
inquiries at the
Aminoma
Aminoma
Smithy.
Smithy.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All the
All
best
the
with your
best with your
investigation.
investigation.
I'll get
I'll
moving
get
shortly
moving shortly
myself.
myself.
If it isn't
Kazuha,
what brings
what
you
brings
here?
you here today?
You two know each other?
Yes.
Yes.
The Kaede
The Kaede
Hara,
Hara,
and
and
after I returned to
Inazuma,
Inazuma, I visited
I
Mr.
visited
Aminoma
Mr.
to pay
Aminoma
my
to pay my
respects.
respects.
Yes.
Yes.
You may
You
recall
may
the
recall the
story
story
of
of
the
Raden
Gokuden
Gokuden from the
Iridori
Iridori
Festival.
Festival.
Though
Though
all
all
bladesmiths
bladesmiths
trace their craft back to the same source, over
over
time,
time,
each of us
each of us has arrived at a different blade-making philosophy,
spawning
spawning the
development of
development
different
of
branches of the same art.
art.
As an
As an
example,
example,
the
the
Aminoma
Aminoma
art
art
strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of
water,
as it
as
turns
it turns
stone
stone
to sand.
to sand.
There is
There is nothing mystical to our work.
There is only
There is only practice,
day in
and
day out,
day out,
until both
until both body and mind have memorized the craft,
turning each
turning each
motion
motion
of every
of every
technique
technique
into an
into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life.
As for
As for the art of the Kaede Hara clan,
I believe
I believe it's called
the
the
Ishin
Ishin
art.
art.
That's right.
That's right.
Ishin art
Ishin art
strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed,
Most
most
samurai choose their blades,
but an
but an Ishin blade
chooses
chooses its owner.
You are,
without a doubt,
the most
the most worthy
wielder
wielder of an Ishin blade.
It gladdens
It gladdens my heart
to
to
see
see
that
that although
You overestimate.
But let's
But
get back
let's
on
get back
topic.
on topic.
The purpose
The
of our
purpose
visit,
of our
we hope
visit,
to
we hope
assist
to
with the
assist with the
investigation.
investigation.
It may turn out
May
that
turn
this
out that
case
this
is
case is
connected to another
connected to
we are
another we are
pursuing.
pursuing.
Oh yes,
My nephew.
my nephew.
I
I
reported
reported
the case to the Tenryou
Commission,
but I haven't
but I haven't heard
back
anything
so
back
far.
so far.
He didn't
He didn't say a word before he left,
which is very
which is
unlike
very
him.
unlike him.
I'm still
I'm still
completely
at a loss
on what to
on
make
what
of
to
it.
make of it.
But I've done
But
what
I've done what I can
I
so far.
Worrying
Worrying
is
is futile.
All I
All I can do now
is wait for
is
the
wait
news
for the news from the Tenryou Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes.
Yes,
On the
on
morning
the morning that
Yuya
Yuya
went
went missing,
he gave me
he
a
gave me
very
a very
cryptic look
cryptic look
and said that
he was going to give me a great gift.
I
I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato. After that,
the next
the next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse,
and neither
of them came back. Yes,
Strange,
strange, isn't it?
I wonder
what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind,
so
nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any
Do you have any
thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had
to guess,
it must have
it must have been some kind of rare weapon.
Otherwise,
Otherwise,
there would have been
no reason for him to get my hopes up.
He's never
He's
been
never been
particularly
particularly interested
in
in blade forging,
but has
but has always had a fondness for blade testing,
and can
and
sense
can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality.
He
He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the soul.
Truth be
Truth
told,
be told,
we have
we
some
have some
information
information
that you may find to be
objectionable.
objectionable. The person
The
we
person we
are
are
looking for,
looking for,
he attacked
he
this
attacked
friend
this
of
friend
mine.
of mine.
Based on the
Based on the evidence we have gathered
so
so far,
only you
seems
seems to match the
the
suspect's
suspect's
profile.
profile.
What?
What?
No.
No.
Absolutely
impossible. He is humble and kind.
Even his
Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind.
Yes.
Yes,
But
but
I also
cannot know what course of action anyway.
Should you find him,
please let
please
me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry.
Don't worry,
You have our
you
word.
have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes.
Yes.
It sounds
It
as
sounds as
if
if
something
something
happened.
happened.
Let's pay a visit to the Nagato house.
house.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No,
No,
you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry not to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why...
He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
What happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons, even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, his voice was so weak and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our friend had I not indulged his bad habits? And I also don't know if he had. The next thing I heard was in the warehouse.
I see. Amin came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. At first, I assumed that my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even handles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the depths?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He just disappeared after the warehouse, but perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad, as long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests
A little confusing.
let's try a change of scene. Rest assured, we'll notify you.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
That is the most likely conclusion based on everything we know. What started as a disagreement over, however, in this case, if this is indeed what happened, and the innocent man hasn't come forward yet, then it suggests they may have already lost their life. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introvert. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there? Right. Although the time frame seems to broaden, no other details that we've learned seem to link two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but it's starting to look like a bird chase.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence. Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh, no! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma, the remnants of the Tatarigami. Indeed. But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place. But the residue left behind still hasn't dissipated completely. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source was already here for a very long time.
Mrs. Madison said he used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt. Step back. I'll open the door and take it. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us
Both
have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary! Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us!
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy source left this place. 2 ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them. Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you, too, will perceive its ominous presence in the wind. From this point, the trail appears to split into 2. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here, and seems to be dissipating slowly. Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Attention, Sprout!
It's...
Ugh! Look at this red stuff! What is it?
By the looks of it, a letter, written on a piece of torn clothing. The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago. Well, let's take a look. According to this letter, a conflict arose because Ame-no-ma Yuya wanted to seize a blade belonging to Mr. Nagato. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and I'm afraid he may no longer be with us. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here. Yes, right now we need to uncover some more important truths. If Ame-no-ma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the longer we take to find him, the more people risk meeting the same tragic end.
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami. For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power and skill. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, I have a hypothesis.
Wait! You figured it out?
I believe so. On with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger. He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time. Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before! What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Ame-no-ma Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Ame-no-ma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, it is— Whoa! Surely you don't mean— Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather, as a means to occupy Ame-no-ma Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
So, swords can become conscious? And...
The people of the time in which I was born never believed After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Isshin art.
So Amenoma Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenoma Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destiny. Kaedehara Kazuha now. We shall rewrite history! Join me!
Forth, my blade!
Divine light!
Fine.
We shall rewrite history!
Out of my way!
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no—
Lost. Even if you defeat me, he is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will. The end result is the same! I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger! And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. By any means necessary, and any medium available.
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Isshin art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Isshin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenoma, if you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded effort.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Isshin art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. if you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped. After all the...
Oh, that...
Only when Mr. Naga... Well, you were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater... But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal!
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life. Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired?
You...
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation.
How stubbornly... I do not believe for a second.
What?
Very well. Then once we have dealt with...
And as for your end of the bar...
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only... The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak. The power of the Tatarigami...
What?
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will. Thank you.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild. Since the Takatsukasa clan abandoned that secret base, It's been held by Ronin ever since.
Ah, all right. Please lead the way.
What about...
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a pretty treacherous journey. Okay, fine. Just be careful.
I ride on wind and cloud alike. Unexpected, but welcome.
What is the situation?
One
Strike
with my
dead.
blade.
Inferior.
Let the show begin.
Swift and merciful.
Weak. The eye sweeps the lands. There is no escape. Lightning falls on the land of eternity. This body is eternal. Ruin follows my blade. Inferior. Perish. Witness the final calamity. Shine down. Purge all obstacles. Inferior. There is no escape. Eternity is in my hands.
A touch of frost from whence you came.
Now you shall perish.
Burn!
Lightning, obey me.
One with my blade.
This world, a fleeting shadow.
Let's dance.
Illusions are but distractions.
Go, Barbara, go.
There is no escape. Shattered.
Forth my blade.
Thunder. Your verdict is decided. This body is eternal.
Swift and merciful.
Ruin follows my blade. Perish. Inferior.
Go, Barbara, go.
Witness the final calamity. Shine down. Inferior.
Let the show begin.
Eternity is in my hands. shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
Spirit Blade! Time for retribution!
Lightning, obey me!
Let's dance.
A touch of frost! From whence you came!
Illusions are but distractions. This body is eternal. In
One with my blade!
In spirit!
Swift and merciful!
Witness the final calamity! Shine down! In spirit! In spirit!
But how?
Illusion shattered! Eternity is in my hand!
Submit for judgment!
Only emptiness awaits.